Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Thank God it's Friday.
Happy TDIF, everyone.
Oh my gosh, so happy. I feel like this week just flew by. I don't know, this time of year, the hustle and bustle, it gets busy and
Yep.
busy and you wake up, it's Monday and you blink and it's Friday. So
Yep.
but Friday's our favorite day of the week. So
Yep.
yay, it's
We get
Friday.
to do some crafting. So,
So yay, it's not Monday yet again this week. So anyway, just being goofy for goofy's sake. So hi everybody, thanks so much for being with us. I am Patty. I'm here with Hillary.
hello, everyone.
We're the co-founders of Hound Hugger DIY, and we love all things DIY, handmade, heartfelt, like especially this time of year, right? This
Yep.
is like the time of year to share what's in your heart, and if it can be handmade as well, like that's the little icing on the cake. But we also love our pups, and so you'll often get to see us do things in honor of our love for pups, whether it's dog treats or we made a Sherpa coat for
Yep.
dogs. Like we've done all kinds of really fun crafts in honor of our pups, whether it's home decor or dog toys or anything like that. But we also do regular people stuff too. So it's Christmas time. We have a really fun Dollar Tree DIY. We're so happy to have you with us today. We've done a take on this. It's like a twist for a different time of the year. We're going to give it a try for Christmas and see how it goes. It's super easy. So if you are new to crafting, like by all means, like jump right in and give
Yep.
this one a try.
And the other nice thing about this is it's Dollar Tree. Like you can get some of the supplies at Dollar Tree. That makes it super affordable. So, and it kind of takes some of the stress away because you're like, all right, I didn't spend a ton on this.
Right.
So
Right.
you've got this for your blank, which is just a little wooden ornament. So they have some different shapes. We're using the ornament one for this particular craft. And I think it works really well. So definitely run to your Dollar Tree because the Christmas stuff tends to get picked over pretty quickly, and you're going to want one of these for this one.
Right. Exactly. Now this is a home decor wall hanging that we're going to make out of this. You could also, this could be like a last minute gift idea. This could be a last minute craft party idea. So I know Christmas is right around the corner. The holidays are getting close. You could do this actually for New Year's Eve or other times of year as well.
Really fun.
Yeah. So don't think that, oh, I've got all my Christmas decor up. Like this, check this one out. Give it a try. It's totally worth it. It's a lot of fun. And it turns out so pretty. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is paint your wood base white. And I've just got like this chalk paint. So if you've got acrylic paint, chalk paint, whatever, just give it a nice white coat for the background. And then you're going to let that dry. And then the next thing you're going to do is take a pencil and draw a line about, I don't know, 2/3 up from the bottom. You want to leave a nice amount of space up here because we're going to add some things that are going to kind of fall within this upper space. But draw a line a little above the halfway mark, maybe, you know, around that. And just draw that line right on top of that white paint. And then the next thing we're going to do is, the reason we have that line is we're going to take some straws, some paper straws. And I have like the cutest, let me take them out of a package so you can see them. I have the cutest straws I found on Amazon. They've got little pink retro Santas on them. They're so stinking cute. I love these. And Hillary, I love yours as well too.
So I had a whole pack of straws. They have a bunch of different designs included in there. And I'm so using these two because this one in particular kind of reminds me of sweaters. And so like once you kind of lay out the pattern, it could kind of give you that wintry, sweatery vibe. And there's a ton. So obviously patties are beautiful. There are a ton of different straw designs that you can find. So, or you could do, you know, go to the party store and you could do these as well. These will work perfect as well. So like, really the sky's the limit, but I love the idea of kind of going out of the normal mold here and finding some that, you know, and I love the idea of pink Christmas too. So, you know, just kind of breaking out of the traditional and doing something fun, a little bit different.
Doing something a little retro. I don't normally do anything retro like this, but I kind of went down that rabbit hole when I was shopping for straws on Amazon. We do have links, by the way, if you don't find straws because I didn't have any straws at my Dollar Tree. So if you don't find them, we do have links to all kinds of straws. And like I said, I kind of was going through, I'm kind of a traditional like Kelly green and red kind of Christmas person. But when I found these little Santas, like they were just so stinking cute.
Yeah,
like
those are beautiful. I love them.
I couldn't help. And I thought, okay, well then that's where I'm going. That's going to be the takeoff point. So, okay, enough about the straws because you can pick whatever you want. So what you're going to want to do is we're going to glue these.
Do we want to do the top part?
Oh, I guess, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll jump into that. Yeah, we'll jump into that. So the top part, since we're going to continue painting the top part, we're going to paint this top part. You can do it gold or silver. I had a cute silver ribbon that I wanted to use, so I'm doing a silver top. And we're just going to paint the top of this real quick with.
And we're using, a paint marker or whatever, but you could also use just your regular paint as well. Yep. And you could skip this if you wanted to too. I just think it kind of helps to finish out that little and give it the look of an ornament. So it really kind of
finishes that out,
reinforces that, oh yeah, this is an ornament shape.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't take any time, but it does need to dry. So I appreciate you jumping in there per usual. As I go down the wrong path, I jump ahead. I saw the straws and I got distracted by their cuteness. But yeah, I really do think just adding this little bit of an embellishment to the top really makes it. That's all. There's nothing else really that you're doing. It's this is a very simple project.
Yep.
But it turns out really so sweet.
And I love the fact that it's so customizable. So yes. Depending on the straws that you use, depending on the other types of fillers that you're going to use, it really can change the look and feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just did a little bit of a gentle curve underneath just to kind of reinforce that this is like a rounded object, right? The ornament is kind of round. So I did a little bit of a rounded curve. I didn't go straight across that square top, just a gentle rounded curve at the top. Yeah. Oh, and you went the other way. Perfect. You've got a super fat ornament.
Yep.
Whatever works for you. That's the beauty of crafting. Whatever you can dream up, you can make. So that's great. So once that's dry, once the white paint's dry, the silver or gold paint is dry, and you've got your line drawn across the top with just a pencil, you can kind of see the pencil line that I have here. We're going to glue our straws vertically, and you want to start in the middle and just line the top of that straw up with the middle of your shape, and then just start gluing next to it, and then just put a line of glue and add a straw, a line of glue, add a straw, and you're going to build your way out. And these are all going to go this way. They're all going to hang over the edge, and then we'll end up cutting that off. And that's we got a start on this, jump start on this, but because it takes a little bit of time and you don't need to watch us glue a bunch of straws down. But that's what the next step is. We're just going to take some glue.
And this is where we drew that line on there. So that's what you're lining up that top portion of your straws to, is that line that you started out with.
Right.
So.
And you don't have to, it depends on the shape, sometimes you can eyeball it yourself.
Yep.
It just depends. This is not, because it's skinny at the bottom and then it gets wider. It's kind of hard to see maybe what that line straight across would look like.
And if you start going, it's nice to have the line, because if you start going and it gets a little askew, it can kind of just keep on going because you're lining all the straws right up next to each other.
Yes.
So it's nice to have that little guideline just to make sure it'll stay straight.
Right. And as
it's like when you're writing as a kid, if you didn't have ruled paper and your line starts going up or down.
Oh yeah.
And it just keeps on going and going. That's kind
the
of
cute part, though. That's the cute part of being homemade, though. It's the quirkiness. But yes, if you want to try and have a straight line, I tend to be a little bit of a perfectionist. So and this line is not. My straws are not perfectly aligned with that line. No. That's okay. But as long as they're generally aligned, nobody will know.
And if they're a little bit up or down from that top, like if they're not all perfectly aligned on the top. Don't worry about that either. You're not going to notice it once we add in some of the other elements.
Right. And as you're adding your straw, think about the pattern. Like I want to see my little Santa faces. So I'm kind of gently turning the straw to position it where I want it glued down so I can see the little Santas. Sometimes you want the pattern to be exactly consistent. Sometimes you want it to be a little hodgepodge pattern. So just kind of think about that as you're gluing your straws in place. And then the other thing for mine, because my Santas are all facing up, they're all facing in one direction, make sure you don't put your straws upside down either.
And mine are going in a pattern. So if you're using,
I love that,
like multiple different, just try to repeat that pattern.
That is so
this
cool.
is something that if you're off, your eye will really catch it. So like, especially if you have really big bold patterns. So, and if you're trying to create a pattern. So that's just something to keep in mind depending on the types of straws that you're using.
Yep. The other thing too is we're using hot glue. So just know that as soon as you set that straw down, it's in place. If you want, you can we use a Beacon fabric glue that I love. And that allows you to tack it down. But you can also move it. Let me share that with you. So if you don't have anything like this, I love this glue because this will work as well. I'm doing hot glue because it's faster. It dries faster instantly, in fact. But if you want to be able to adjust the straws or adjust the height of the straws, that glue might be give you a little more
forgiving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because these paper straws really do instantly
they do
down. Like normally, even with hot glue, you have a little bit of wiggle. Yeah. Not with paper and this wood. It really does.
It adheres
stick together instantly.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing to note is that when you do one side and you cut off the bottom, you can actually use a lot of the other kind of leftover pieces for this other side. So I have my full length straws here, but as you can see, some of these are shorter because I'm using the leftover from this side. Again, just note that normally, like the straws Hillary's using, because the pattern is the same up or down, she can just flip the straw over and use that nice straight edge again, even though the bottom has been cut off in an angle. Mine, I had to flip them over and re-straighten the tops because my Santas all have to face up. And if I flipped them over, I'd have half of this with Santas upside down and half of them with Santas facing upright. So just that's another thing to kind of be aware of.
But it's nice because you don't need quite so many straws in order to fill it out, because you don't need to use all the full-size straws.
Yeah. And I would say if you use full size, you'd probably need about 50 straws to go across this particular shape. This way, you only need, not a little more than half.
Yep.
Because I am using a couple of long straws again on this side. I love that the little retro Santas are coming back. It's fun. That was back in I think it was from the 60s, which I don't want to date myself, but I was around in the 60s, so the latter half of the 60s. So it reminds me of my childhood, which is really kind of fun.
I just love all the different, it doesn't have to be the traditional red and green. You could go, I saw some vintage wrapping paper that was orange with little vintage Santas and things. It's so fun to see all the different styles that you could have. And I love just kind of, and especially when you're crafting, just kind of breaking out of your comfort zone a little bit, trying something different.
Yes.
This is an easy one to do that with. So, oh
yeah,
I almost messed up my pattern. So that's the other thing. You do have to.
No chatting and crafting at the same time. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. That's funny. You're having too much fun.
Yep.
All right.
And this one would be super easy for the kids to help with, especially if you did the beacon glue instead of the hot glue.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's for sure. All right. When you get to the end, it just depends on your shape and where you started exactly, the width of your straws and all that good stuff. If you have a straw that's kind of hanging over, and I don't quite have one, this one pretty much matches up with the end of the wood on the other side. But if you have one that's hanging over and you don't want to not have a straw there because there's still wood showing, you can put that straw on and then just squish in the side of the straw so that you can still see the front, but you can actually put your fingernail in there or take a butter knife or something and just squish the straw to match the width of your ornament or your wooden shape. And that way you still have something covering the front. It's not going to be, nobody's going to notice that this straw is a little different than the others. It's actually going to help the eye see that this whole thing is filled in and not sticking out more than the other side. So just a little tip. I did that on the last one. Let me show. I can show you. So this one, I actually bent the straw on the inside, but look how nice it finishes, right? Your eye just notices that that's covering the wood. If I left that straw off, it would look odd. Your eye would be drawn to that missing piece. So you can just poke your fingernail into the side of that straw there and kind of reshape it just to fit the width of the piece. So that's another little tip. We make all the mistakes for you so that you don't have to do them. We try to make this as easy and quick and fun as possible. I love crafting at Christmas time, either for myself or, for gifts for people. It's just fun, or even just decorating the fronts of packages. Like there's just so many things you can do for the holidays, handmade.
Oh yeah, we did. So you guys have to check out our past library. We did some amazing, last year we did some amazing package, like a gingerbread, like little stocking that you could use as a gift bag. Yes. But we also did some gift wrapping. So actual ideas for the bows or things like that turned out so cute as well. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be wrapping some presents later today. And it just reminded me, I have some really fun, different ways to embellish them. And we have those in our past library. So you should check those out as well.
Yeah, exactly. All right, perfect. Yay. We both have our little ornaments are done. We've got some trimming to do. So we're going to turn this over. Whoops, the other side here. We're going to turn this over and we're going to trim the side. You can use scissors when you turn it over to cut. But I've found, I did that on the previous one, this one that I did that already. But I found that it was a little bit of a chore with this shape because of the kind of curvature at the bottom of the ornament. It kind of goes in a little bit. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try a little straight edge razor utility knife, whichever you have. I have a little crafting knife that I'm going to use. Please be careful with an open razor. But this does work a lot better than my scissors did. You're going to focus on really only cutting one straw at a time. This is an uneven surface. I really want you to be careful. You're not going to draw a line along the edge of the ornament, the wood, and you're not going to cut them all out in one swath. This does take some time and some care, but this is a lot easier than using scissors. So you can make a little bit of a initial pass gently, but then just go back over it and kind of focus on cutting into one straw at a time. And I have a little piece of cardboard underneath, so I'm not hurting my work surface. And it just takes several little passes.
It's a little, well, I don't even know if it's really slower because you have so much cleanup with the scissor version of it.
Yes.
And the scissors kind of squish the ends of the straws, which is a bummer if they don't quite squish where you want them to. And so then it's hard to get that shape perfectly. So the X-Acto blade is nice. I'm also going to try a box cutter just to kind of see the difference between the two.
Yeah, I like this. You get much cleaner lines. And sometimes with the scissors, it actually pulls the straws away from the wood.
Yep.
And you got to go back and re-glue them down. So. Yeah, it's a much prettier edge. But please be careful, everybody. Please be careful when you're using the X-Acto blade or utility knife.
Yep, just go slow. But yeah, I would say this is way easier than the scissors.
Yeah, I like it so much better. And this is, again, if you do 1/2, you're going to get straws that have a flat edge and then a curved edge. For mine, I had to straighten that curved edge because my Santas had to be upright. So if I was using them on the other half of my ornament, just make sure to flip them upright so that your design is always going in the right direction. If you have straws like Hillary, you don't have to worry about that step. So
you might have some little pieces that need a little cleanup, so you can just
And it's not going to be perfect. Again, this is not an area anybody's going to be looking at, so don't worry about it. But oh my gosh, I love the stripes. I just love, and polka dots make me happy. So I love yours. That's so cute. That is so stinking cute. I have a straw that's popping up. Let me glue it back down. There we go.
Yeah, and those when it gets to the edges, those little ones can kind of want to pop up on you. So.
Yeah. All right, we're getting there. All right, can anybody guess what the next step is? This is so fun. This is where the magic happens. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate. I want to put a ribbon down, and actually a couple ribbons. I have this nice big green ribbon. It actually has a little gentle sparkle. You probably can't see it, but then I've got this little silver ribbon. It's a little wide. It would take up so much of cover up so much of my straws. It's a wired ribbon. So I ended up just cutting it down to about a 2.5 inch ribbon. I cut it down to about 2 inches. So I cut it down. And then I actually put a silver ribbon right down the middle on top of it. So that's my little embellishment for the front.
And I'm a little undecided yet if I'm going to be adding. I'm just looking through some of my ribbons that I have to see if I want to add any.
Okay.
So this just kind of classic with the red tick, white ticking on there.
I love that.
I think
that
would
fits
be super
perfectly.
Cute. Yep.
All right, so I'm just lining it up, and I'm going to lay it down where I like it, and then I'm going to hold the middle down, flip it half over, and then I'm just going to tack it down in the center so that I know that's where I want my center to be. And then I can glue the rest of it down or just turn it over and glue the ends down. And because of the shape, these are going to These are going to go up, not across on the back. Because you're going around a rounded shape. So pretty. I wanted to bring in some green because I had a bunch of pink. There is some green in the in Santa's hat, but it's so tiny you really can't see. And I really want to keep that Christmas theme. And these little Santa faces are small. You don't see them at a distance. So I really wanted to still keep this ornament looking Christmassy, looking like holiday festive. So I'm adding a little more green and a little sparkle in my silver ribbon. And then I made a little bow in silver, super cute. And I'm going to tack that on as well.
I love the coordinating the greens and silvers, especially with those straws. It just looks perfect together.
Oh, thank you. Well, again, I wanted to, the pink is so predominant. I wanted pink and green. Like I wanted to add the green back in.
Yeah.
To make it Christmassy. Keep it Christmassy. All right. Isn't this so cute? And then I've got a little longer tail, a little shorter tail, kind of following the line of the ornament instead of having them evenly across. Oh, I love that. That is so pretty. So pretty. The silver, I like the silver because it's also tying in the top of my little ornament. So just kind of think about repeating colors and things like that to draw the whole thing together. If I used gold at the top, I'd use a gold ribbon instead of the silver, which I almost did, but I felt like silver was a little more retro classic than the gold.
It goes really well. And especially with that green, and the fact that the green has a little bit of sparkle to it.
It does. It has just the least little bit of sparkle. So while you're making a bow, I am going to share a little trick that I use. So we're going to use this. This is going to be our little vase. We're going to fill this with flowers. And I bought a set of dried flowers because I wanted something that was fairly small to go in. So I got this set from Amazon. I love this set. It's so pretty. It's got lots of pinks and creams. It has some green in it. But I wasn't really happy with the greens. They're really muted or very, very dark. And I wanted to, again, continue the theme of pink and green, but I liked the lighter color green of the ribbon. So I made my own greenery with the ribbon. Now, all you need is just a piece of floral wire. And I just cut out little leaf shapes. And if you don't have floral wire, I cut off, this was wired ribbon, and I just cut off the wired part, and I used that for a stem. And then I just made little leaves, and I just glued them next to each other on my little stem. I took a little extra piece of stem, and I curled it up and made it curly. And I tried it in felt first. So this gives you a better idea. This is kind of visually what I did. I just took two leaves, glued them next to each other all the way up this little wire stem. This was a little too bright for me to go with my pattern. So I used the ribbon color again, but you can make your own greenery, right? And this will tie in, again, the color scheme to what you have. So don't worry about if you don't have something, I didn't have the greens I liked in the kit of dried flowers, and I don't have them in my faux flowers, silk flowers, whatever. You can make your own greenery. So just think about what you have and how you can repurpose it to make the things that you're missing in your crafts. So I really love that.
Yeah, and it really it perfectly ties it in. So it helps it coordinate all the way through.
It does. And it gives a nice contrast because I do have pinks and greens that I'm using, and I'm using some more of the paler pinks to match my straws. Some of this is bright pink, and it was just too hot pink to use. And if I'm using pale colors against this white background, they're really not going to pop. So I needed something dark or green to like have them bounce off of so that you could see them a little better. So that was the other reason why I wanted to fill in with some greens, because I have, you know, white on cream and things like that. They're not going to show as well if I just put the flowers in there by themselves. I love the bow, what the bow does. When you just add this little bow, like it just elevates it instantly. So feminine, so cute, so girly. I love it.
Well, and I feel like it also kind of reinforces the ornament of it. You know, like you don't lose that, oh yeah, that's a little Christmas ornament shape.
Yep. I love that. How cute is that?
And I'll trim off my tails here in a little bit.
So adorable. I love this. Isn't this fun to see? I just love that we do the same craft in using different tools or resources, I should say, or supplies, and you get a totally different look and vibe from it, doing the same craft. So hopefully this inspires everybody to just, it doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as you're happy with your design, like that's all that matters. We're just giving you kind of the steps, and then you can just take it from there and use your imagination. And like I said, make your own greenery if you have to. So I love it. All right. So then the next step is really just taking your florals, and then this is like a little vase. So you're just going to fill them in. And so, as I said, this was a little piece of greenery that I made myself. I'm just going to tuck that in there. Just like that. So start with the bigger pieces maybe, and then fill in some of the smaller ones.
And I just have some kind of random bits and bobs, Dollar Tree picks, and whatever else was in my stash. So I'm just going to kind of play around and see what works. So this is where you really just flower arranging, like pick a few things, start to put it together. Like it takes a little bit of faith at the beginning, and all of a sudden you'll start to see, oh yeah, I could use a little bit of this, or I need a little pop of color here. So that'll start to come together. Like it's a little nerve-wracking when you first start, but just kind of jump in, start putting some things together, and then it'll start to, like, you'll start to catch the vibe of what you're putting together.
Yep. It'll all come together. And I really do love these faux flowers, or dried flowers, I should say, from Amazon. They are actual flowers. They're very delicate, but they're actually a little sturdier than I thought. They've got some elasticity to them, so they're not like going to crumble in your hands. So that means you can kind of fluff them up and play with them a little bit, which is nice. They're not super dry where they're just going to crumble apart. But I love this. Really good quality dried flowers.
I've got just some little Dollar Tree, but also have these little white balls on them, and then I'm going to add in some little red ones to just kind of, I'm playing up the sort of polka dots or
I was just going to say that. Yeah, exactly. That's so fun. All right. So I'm using some pinks and white hydrangeas, some little cloves that are pink, flowers. These are some of the greenery that I made myself. Just kind of building it out. And you don't feel like you need to go all the way to the very end. Like I started like 8 or 9 straws in. So you don't have to. Some of my flowers are going to the end, but I'm not putting them on the very edge, or I'm going in a couple inches. so that I can have them splay out towards the sides, but they're not going to go too far past the size of the ornament. You want to try and still keep that shape of the ornament showing. So you don't want it completely hidden. And it means you don't need quite as many flowers too. So. These hydrangeas are so pretty. And they have little pink leaves and all kinds of stuff. Some of the stems on the dried flowers were super short. So again, I just took some floral wire. I cut a little piece and I glued it to the bottom. So it gave me a little more to work with so I could tuck them into the straws.
Some little bundles here, and then I'm going to start adding in some more texture around the front here.
I love that. Some of these are super fun. Just delicate grasses. I just love all the different textures and shapes. All right. Come along. Really just let your imagination go.
Yep.
Do whatever you like.
I love that. It's such a pretty bouquet.
Yeah, it's starting to come about. I was so lucky that this set of dried flowers actually had pinks that matched my straws. But there's so many flowers and dried grasses and all kinds of fun things in here. There's straw flowers and statice and eucalyptus leaves and baby's breath in both pink and white. There's hydrangeas both in pinks and creams. There's all kinds, and it gives you 2 little tweezers. So you get 2 sets of tweezers in this kit too. So a really nice kit, and it comes well packaged. So all of these things arrived safely and not, in a crumbling mess. So I was really impressed with this, and it comes in different colorways too. So if you didn't want pinks and creams, you wanted a different color scheme, you can get these in other colors as well. In fact, there's some colors in here that are lavender and a light purple and stuff too. So it's not just pinks and greens or pinks and creams, but really pretty. I like some of these really feathery ones too.
Oh,
just little fillers.
Cool. Yep. Yeah. Those are really cool.
Oh, yours is filling out beautifully.
Yeah. It's just, take a look at what you have, take a look at your craft stash, and just kind of play around until you're happy with the bits and pieces. I always like to say, play with the textures, play with some of those accents. That'll be what really starts to make it feel like it's coming together.
Yes. So sweet. I love floral arranging. I know I've said it before, but it's just one of my favorite things. There's just something about creating a bouquet from scratch that just makes your heart happy. Okay. All right. I think it's good to know when to say when.
Yep.
So I think I'm done, but you can see how the darker, the green kind of gives a little bit of a backdrop to some of these that are more white or off color, off white, or cream in color. Try not to hide the little square shape at the top so that it helps reinforce that this is an ornament, right? We want to keep that showing. Just some little tips and tricks. But yeah, this would be so cute in a little girl's room too. I just think this would be adorable.
Yeah.
But it looks so
it's hard to go
feminine
wrong
and
with
girly.
the pinks and greens for
Yeah. It's super feminine, which is not normally what I go for, but it's fun to try something, like you said, out of your comfort zone, do something new. I just love the little Santas on there. They're so cute. And I love what you did with your straws. I think the stripe idea is very clever.
And some of it, like, you could do all straws. Like, I love the bouquet idea, but if you just wanted to do the straws are the main focus, and you know, from top to bottom straws, you could do that too. So
exactly. All right. I love your bunch of berries.
Keep on playing around here with adding a little bit more red
pretty.
in, just to kind of bring that into the top portion of these. But
I love that. I love it. Look at the difference. Like yours are darker and bolder, like, and mine are like faint and pastel-y and like very gentle, like just the different colorways, the different choices of florals and straws and ribbons and everything. But they both turn out so beautiful. Really, this is almost like a foolproof craft. Like you just can't go wrong with whatever you're choosing. Just make sure they kind of go together. Whatever florals you pick, go with the straws and you're good to go. I just love this. So the last thing to do is I just have a little silver ribbon I'm going to use. I'm going to put this in the top to match my little silver painted top to the ornament. You can use any color. Hillary, you could do red or green because you've got that in yours.
Yeah.
You have a gold ribbon to match the gold top. I'm just being matchy with mine. Just adding a ribbon at the top here and tying a knot, and this will be the little hanger for it. It's so lightweight, isn't it? Like,
you're not gonna need to worry about like having something super substantial. Like you can kind of hang this anywhere, which is nice.
Right, exactly. Just making a little hanger here. There we go.
I love the way that one turns out. It's so pretty. It's like definitely giving me the sort of nutcracker vibes for yours, you know, the pinks, the greens, it's a ballerina, you know, like that's what it feels like, a little ballerina.
That's so cute. I love yours too. So fun. Yours reminds me of a Christmas market. Like it just reminds me of summer or of winter, and the crafts and it's just so fun. I love everything about both of ours. I love that we can take the same idea and just run with it, and you come up with something uniquely yours. So hope everybody's enjoyed today's craft, our little paper straws Christmas bouquet. Run to Dollar Tree, grab one of their little wooden shapes, and make one of your very own. This would be such a beautiful hostess gift for Christmas. Definitely Christmas gifts. These are beautiful Christmas gifts, and they could keep these up. These are not necessarily true Christmas. They could keep them up through the new year, right? This would be a fun,
for sure. I think this would work through winter. So it's a great one.
Exactly. So. Hope we've inspired you to get out there, have some fun, get crafty, do something for yourself this week. It's a hustle and bustle kind of crazy time of year, but it's so important to think of yourself, take a few minutes, have a little fun, have a little me time. And we hope we inspired you to get out there and do that this weekend before the holidays get here.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much,
everyone.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody, to you and yours. Hope it's
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Bye-bye.